Hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, God's Divine Purpose. Hi, for all that do not know me, my name is Lakeisha Thompson, better known as Keisha. I'm a minister, I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm also an ambassador for Christ. To all of my Destiny Walkers, thank you all for sharing, and subscribing. Continue to follow so you can get everything that God has for you in this season. I hopped on real quick because on a couple of episodes ago, we was talking about narcissism traits, and NPD, narcissism personality disorder. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more, going to deal about when it comes to toxic people on a cluster B or on the spectrum. I want to just give a little bit more insight on that. Like I stated before, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I do not prescribe any medication, but I'm just giving you the revelation that God has given me that freed me from toxicity and from people that suffer with narcissism personality disorder. When it comes to narcissism, three types of narcissism: is malignant, is covert, and overt. So the two that I had dealt with personally was an overt narcissism and a covert narcissism. Overt means that they'll openly display their anger, their rage, their hate, or whatever. They do it openly in front of people. So when we talk about covert narcissism, we talk about those that are kind and nice in front of people, but they are cunning and sneaky and do their damage behind closed doors when nobody is looking. So I had suffered with narcissism personality disorder from those two places, from an overt perspective and a covert perspective. Like I said, one is openly. That's why it's called overt. He's openly displaying all his attributes, the anger, the mean, or talking down against you. But the covert, he's more sweet and kind in front of people. Gestures, good manners, seem like the best man that woman that you ever had. But behind closed, that's when the abuse really starts, when nobody's looking, when nobody's paying attention. So when you say something to them about what is going on, it contradicts what you're saying because they see one side, but you see the true side. So that's the difference between overt and covert narcissism. So I have my pad with a couple of notes down. So I want to keep you all informed in what God has for me to give to you guys, to help educate you, to help strengthen you, to give you the encouragement that you need to break free from that toxicity. Because like we stated, narcissism abuse is a tactic from the enemy. It's on a mission to kill, steal, and destroy the people of God so that you will not be able to walk out your full destiny, your potential, and your purpose that God has for you. As I come on to be informing you guys about narcissism abuse or narcissism personality disorder, you heard me use the term narc, which is short for narcissism. So when you see me intertwine those two words, narcissism still means narc for just a short phrase of just saying narcissism. So let's dive right into the information. When it comes to narc abuse, they have 4 stages that they take their victims through. See, narcissism abuse is just like any other abuse, like you being any kind of addiction. That's what it's like. It's like abuse. So just like any other abuse, you have withdrawals, you have setbacks, because it's a stage and a process that you have to go through in order to break free from narc abuse. In order to break free from narc abuse, you have to learn to know what you're dealing with. You have to, in order for you to be able to win a battle that you're fighting, you have to be well equipped. See, if you're not equipped with dealing with these kind of toxic people, you always find yourself going back. You always going back to the same thing that's hurting you, and you're wondering, I know that this is toxic for me, but I find myself keep going back because you don't have the right equipment to fight this battle. So that's why you keep getting drawn back on the field, because you're not been equipped on it. When it comes to narcissism, they have a cycle of abuse that they take all their victim through, and that's why you are so confused at what's going on, because the different levels and stages that you find yourself in. So the first level, we will call that love bombing stage. Love bombing stage, that's when they wine and dine you. That's when they're real intimate and close with you. They want to spend all the time with you. You know, they feel like the ideal man, the ideal woman, like it's God sent, it's held over heels, butterflies, la la land, you name it, they claim it. That's when they are actually imaging you. They're actually showing you, if that makes sense. They're actually reflecting what they see you do. They're giving it back to you because, as we stated, narcs do not have self-validation. They do not have their own identity. So they portray what they see in front of them. They're camouflaging. That's what we're saying. They camouflage themselves. So whatever you portray, they portray because they know what you want. They are great, great listeners. They are great, great listeners. Not to grow the relationship, but to hurt the relationship. So they listen very, very carefully to what you're saying because you're in a relationship with them. You're probably wondering, oh, he's such a great listener. Oh, he can always connect with what I'm saying. He connecting because, or she's connecting because that's where the damage come in at. So the first stage is called love bombing stage. Then the second stage we have is better known as, same with love bombing, you could call it idealization. That's when, you know, okay, I got it down pat what he or she is expecting from me. So they done groove you. They groom you into what they want you to be or what they want you to do without you even knowing. See, they done have already groomed you and prepped you when they sat down and talked to you and love bombed you, went on dates, took you to movies, bought you flowers, this, that, and the third. See, they done already love bombed you and got idealization. When it comes to idealization, they already know that you already suited, you already put in the spot, or you are already equipped. So when the damage get done, they already got you locked in. So after the love bombing stage, then the idealization stage, then we have the devaluing stage. Devaluing stage. That's when they start to say hurtful things or say slick stuff out the mouth, or you could say they kind of passive aggressive. Like, so you're thinking, so that's where the confusion started. Now, you was loving me a couple of days, a couple of weeks ago, or even a couple of hours ago. Now you saying something that's very, very mean or toxic to me. How could that be? Because you're in the stage, you are running in the stage of you over the love bombing stage. They done already idealize you. Now they got you in the stage of rejection where they can hurt you. They can push you off. They can do whatever because they know you're coming back. And then after that stage is rejection. Like I said, rejection. They push you, move you to the side so they can suck you back in, which is called Hoover. They suck you back in. You hurt my feelings, but then after that, you come back with a fake apology to Hoover me back in to repeat the same cycle over and over again. See, that's what is so confusing when it comes to narcissist personality disorder. That is what makes it so confusing because you're looking at a person like, you love me. You showing me everything that I want in a spouse or in a significant other, but then you can start with the blame shifting, the devaluation. You can start with the rejection, and then you come right back around and love on me again, give me flowers, give me gifts, just to keep you in that circle of confusion. Some people are lucky to get out maybe at 1 year or 2 years, but some of us be in at 14, 50 because we do not know. That's why it's important that we get a personal relationship with God, because God will reveal what is hidden to his children so that we will not walk in ignorance, because that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants to deceive us because we are known to walk by what our eyes see and what seems to be right. But the Bible states that we are to walk by faith and not by sight, because people will deceive you. That's just like he had told the prophet that was going down to David to anoint one of his kids as the next king. He said, wait a minute, you look at the outer appearance, but I know the heart of the man. See, you can fool me, but you cannot fool God. See, the sad thing that is when it comes to narc abuse, they love to isolate you. Some of them do it openly. Some of them do it sneaky, passive aggressive. They'll be like, for example, why do you hang with such and such? I don't like when you hang with such and such. Or they'll say like, why you have to talk to such and such? Or why you have to hang or go such and such place? That just to keep you to yourself so they can keep applying the abuse to you. See, isolation makes you feel like the world is against you, or my mom is against me, or my friends are against me. They don't want me to be happy. See, they want you to think that way so they can continue the abuse. So when you come out and start speaking about, mom, I'm going through this, that, and the third, or dad, or friends, whoever you feel to confide in, you start to tell them about the abuse, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to probably look at you like you're shocked, because it seems like it was the ideal relationship. Remember, we talked about that covert narcissist. They make it seem like, oh, everything is good in La La Land. You know, everything is peaches and roses. But you know behind closed doors that it is abuse and something isn't right. But when you begin to speak out about it, that's why people are so confused, because you can't even fathom what just went on. Trying to explain that to somebody else, because they got you so confused, you start to question your own insanity. That's the sick thing about it. They know that they're abusing you. They know that they're hurting you. They know that they're neglecting you. They know that they're talking down on you. But when you start to tell people about that, they don't seem to understand. See, the thing about when it comes to the cycle of abuse, you're not the only one that's going through it. See, with narcissism, or we would call them narcs, they have different people or different sources of supplies in line. So when we talk about sources of supplies, we're talking about energy. We're talking about people, women, men, girlfriend, boyfriend, wives, you know. When we're talking about energy, see, narc feed off energy. Remember I told you they were narcissists or energy vampires. So they can get positive energy from you, or they can get negative energy from you. Positive energy is like, oh, okay, you telling them they look good, they smell good, they this. So they can feed it because that's boosting their ego. But negative energy, if you don't give them what they want, they'll come home and start an argument. They'll start a little fussing about food, just simple things, mad about nothing. See, either way, they want energy, but they prefer that good energy. But if they can't get that from you, the admiration, the lifting up, the godly, remember I told you, people pleasing, if they can't get that, they'll take the negative. They'll start a fight just to go out and be with the next supply. That's the next person they're dealing with behind your back. See, when it comes to narcissist abuse, they always have somebody else or multiple sources of supply, because you can never feel them, because they're empty. They're empty. See, just like any other addiction, you need their addiction to survive. See, narcissism need that addiction to survive. So when you can't supply it, or you get old to them like an old toy, they go out and get something else. So that's how they keep you in that cycle of abuse, because if she's boring this day, let me go to her or him this day and get this over here. And then if they're not acting right, let me go back to her and get this, that, and the third from this. So it keeps you in a confused spot, because you're like, we're doing good, but how we doing good? And you over here doing this. So I thought we was on the right track. So because you always trying to get back to that love bombing stage where they whining and dining you. Everything was good. If I could just only get back to where it all began. The narcissist never going to do that with you. They're never going to do. They have no intentions. They do not know how to love, because they wouldn't love. How can I give you something that I don't have? Remember we talked about in the other videos that they was neglected. They was they parenting, how they was brought up. They was rejected. So they always tried to do things for love. So they don't know how to love. That's why they don't have compassion. They don't have empathy, because they were seeking to please another narcissist in their family, and they didn't get that. So they don't know how to love. Your love may be genuine, but their love is not genuine. So you can always pour out love, love, love. But we as creatures, we as human beings, we want to be loved back. We want love to be reciprocated. They're not going to reciprocate love back to you because they don't know what that is. They long it for them themselves. So that's why they seek you, this person, that person. Who knows how many people they have, but they always have something or somebody's waiting under you because they have grade level of supply. It's grade A, grade B, grade C. So you might be grade A from the beginning, but they're going to shelf you and put you down to a C. They're going to move somebody else up into your spot. And the cycle just keep going and going and going. That will have you confused. See, when you find out about the new supply or the other woman or the other man, you like, wait, where this come from? They been had them. It's just that you hadn't figured it out. They been had them because they're doing the same thing with them. They're taking them through the same cycle of abuse, the love bomb, the devaluation. They idealize them, they reject them, and then they hoover them back in. When you ain't acting right, this one acting right. If this one ain't acting right, this one acting right. So everybody is confused because that's what narcissists do. They feed off drama. They love drama. They love confusion. They just like their father, the devil, a liar, an adversary. He loves all that darkness, that confusing. He loves to keep you in a web of lies. See, God didn't call us to live like that. See, that's why I tell you, narcs are sent from the enemy to kill, steal, and destroy the people of God. When it comes to narcs and your friends, you'll probably figure out like they don't like none of your friends because they know that your friends are not as close to them as you are. So their job is to keep you confused and keep you isolated so that your friends won't try to talk any sense into you, bring reality into you, because narcs know when they have you under that spell. You're under a foggy spell. You under lies. You're confused. You don't know what's going on. So that's why they don't want you talking to anybody, because if they can just keep you in that spot, you will be the punching bag that they need. So they can always get energy. They can always get supply from you. But it is toxic. And I want to help you get free from narc abuse. See, we as human beings, or we as women and men, have to be slow when it comes to relationship, when it comes to getting to know other people, because people can portray to be one thing, but actually in reality, there's something different. Because if something's too good to be true, it's something ain't right about that. So when it comes to narc abuse, we have malignant, we have overt, and we have covert. All three are very detrimental for your soul. It's sent by the enemy to kill, steal, and destroy the people of God. So when it comes to dealing with these type of toxic people, we have to be very careful because, like I say, you don't want to do anything that will cause them a narcissistic injury. What is a narcissistic injury, Keisha? I'm glad you asked. A narcissistic injury is just like somebody will walk up and punch you, that injure you. So the same thing, like if you don't give the narc what they expecting from you to get from you, or you don't say what they expect them to say, or you hurt their ego in any kind of way, thank you, Father, that will cause an injury. So that's why they call it narc injury or narcissism injury, because you have hurt their ego and it made them feel some type of way, as we stated, as in towards their childhood. So a narcissism injury will come with rage. After you done hit them in a place where it hurt, it comes with rage. And rage will come out as screaming. It will come out as cursing. Sometimes it'll come out violent as hitting. So it's a rage because you hurted them and they want to seek to hurt you back. So when it comes to narcissists, I will go in more detail in another video about the terms, so you can get familiar with the terms when we're talking about narc abuse, so you can be educated when it comes to cluster B's personality. So I pray that each and every one of you be blessed by this message. Watch as well as pray. That's what the word tells us. Watch as well as pray, because the enemy is walking around or roaming around like a lion, seeking who he may devour. So we have to be on our guard. Like I tell you, we have to be on our post when it comes to these kinds of demons, because they are sent by the enemy on a mission to harm God's people. So I pray that this message encouraged you. I pray that this message bless you. Remember that I love you. Most of all, God loves you. Until next time, be blessed. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Until next time.